Testing, testing, testing.
morning, Cubs. Today is Wednesday, May 24th, 2025.
My name is Kenan Velasquez.
And my name is Melanie Mendez.
Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance, Texas Pledge in a moment of silence.
Honor, I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to the Texas, one state under God, one and indivisible.
We remain standing for a moment of silence.
Thank you, Cubs. You may be seated. The line ways to be respectful, responsible, safe, and kind. Let's cover our coughs and sneezes, wash our hands, treat each other while we're next to each other, not to things, and be there for each other.
Cubs, remember to follow the dress code. No polos, must be solid colors, no torn jeans, no Crocs or flippers allowed. Hoodies must be zipped or be clean attire.
Attention, Cubs. The end of your awards have been scheduled. Please look at the dates to determine what day applies to you. 7th grade, May 28th at 1 p.m.
8th grade, May 30th.
6th grade, May 27th at 1 p.m. 8th grade, May 30th at 10 a.m. Let's go to the other side with studio for announcements from our guests.
All right. Now, that was kind of fast, actually, today. I don't see our wonderful admin here, but I'm sure if they were here, they would be telling you to follow the line way, be respectful, be kind. Remember that your actions do have consequences. We still got roughly about another week of school, okay? So we're almost there. Hang in there, all right? And then you got that beautiful, 6-week break coming up soon. As a matter of fact, they are just walking in to give you the message of the day.
Good morning. Totally forgot I was wearing green today. Oh my goodness. When am I going to learn?
Good morning, Cubs. Cubs, we are midweek. We still have another week and a half of school to take care of. Registration teachers, thank you for checking that list and then sending me the names of kids not on the registration list. I am following up with the kids. Yesterday they had an hour of lunch detention, and then if they come out of dress code again today, they will be in SAC. So I am addressing those. So if you have a kiddo, I will send the list shortly. If you have a kiddo on the list that's out of dress code, does not have free dress, please email me their name so that I could take care of that. Cubs, if we are consistently not following, I just need you to do your registration, get it done. If we do not complete registration by next Thursday field day, you will not be able to participate. So please make sure that you talk to your parents, help them with the registration this weekend. Registration definitely needs to get done. There's still 85 of you that do not have free dress, that do not have your registration completed, and it does need to get done. Come on, we have an announcement from Miss Athena.
Hello. I would just like to remind the student council to bring a pink shot to decorate, I guess, after school with Miss Gallo.
All right, what is that for?
It is for the student council field trip.
Oh, awesome.
Nice.
All right, Cubs, so if you are on student council going on the student council field trip next week, bring your pink shirt to decorate after school. Cubs, we love you. The decisions you make do have consequences, so please make good decisions. We do want you guys to be able to participate in Friday's basketball game if you would like to go and watch or be in it. And we would like for you guys to participate in events like Field Day next week. On Tuesday, coming back from the weekend, we will be handing out the yearbooks. So we will also do that, give you a space where you can come pick it up and sign yearbooks, okay?
And also, just a reminder, starting next week, next Tuesday, no backpacks.
Yes, and I will be posting that on Class Dojo and sending out the call out next week. No backpacks, no bags. You shouldn't need anything except on the field day. We will allow a small bag because you will probably need a towel and a change of clothes.
And you should have received a letter for intercession if you were on the list to come yesterday during 8th period. If you didn't because you were absent, then talk to your 8th period teacher today. If you have them and they're signed by your parent, please drop them off in the office. Thank you.
Yes, thank you, Cubs. We are glad that you're here today. Every day does count. Let's make it a great day. Let's finish our Wednesday strong. Have a great day.
Thank you.
Thank you. Today's cafeteria menu includes
Spaghetti with ground beef,
chicken nuggets,
sunflower buddy and jelly sandwich,
chicken patty sandwich,
spicy pepperoni pizza,
cheeseburger,
spicy breaded chicken sandwich,
cheese pizza,
grilled cheese,
turkey and cheese sandwich.
all-American salad.
We would like to wish a very special birthday to Victoria Martinez. Happy birthday!
Cubs, let's take a look at our weather for today.
All right, so I went from a birthday screen to a weather screen. Happy birthday, Victoria Martinez. Enjoy your day, get some good cake, okay? And just enjoy your day overall. All right, so again, we're having beautiful weather. No more wind, no more brown skies, no more dust all around us, okay? This morning, we're currently at 77 degrees, and as you can see, we are getting close to that 100-degree day, okay? So 95 degrees on the high for today, sunny skies, okay, no clouds. In the evening, dropping down to 81, and overnight, when you are Mimis, we are going down to 67, okay? And again, we're looking at 0% chance of rain throughout the entire day. So I want to make a bet that next week when we have the field day, there's a good chance we're going to be hitting that triple-digit day. So just letting you know, yes, you will be allowed to bring, like Ms. Gallego said, probably like a small bag or a plastic bag so you can have your change and your water and all that stuff that you're going to need, because that day is probably going to be hot out there. Okay? This is all I got for you all. Have a wonderful day, and back to you all.
This concludes today's announcements. Cubs, remember that